Who is the mysterious Asema killer, and why are they stalking the streets of Gotham targeting young criminals? Well, let's hop into the pages of Detective Comics issue number 1091 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we see that Bruce is having a very terrifying and very telling nightmare. He's old and gray, getting himself choked to death by the Joker. And in the end, he's only saved because his new Robin, who is actually Sam, the dead boy from the previous issue, has to pick up a gun and shoot the Joker dead. Obviously, Bruce is taking Sam's death very hard for a number of reasons, and the worst part is Sam isn't even the only victim. A serial killer is out there targeting young men, not much older than the Robins, with hard luck cases not long out of juvenile detention. It's because of that Batman has Oracle watching the latest crop of releases, hoping the next time the killer acts, the Dark Knight will be on top of things. Then of course there's Sam's autopsy. Bullock reveals to Batman that the poor kid has no next of kin except for an uncle who's not going to schlep all the way down here to see him. All Bruce can think though is that he hit this kid before his untimely murder, and weirdly for once Bullock is actually 100% on Batman's side, saying, hey, you know, he shot a store clerk, you did the right thing. We're only human, right? I mean, I assume you're human, I've never seen you under the cowl or nothing. This failed attempt at a pep talk only further emboldens Batman to be this kid's advocate, seeing as he didn't have one in life, maybe he'll have one in death. And luckily for Batman, it seems that he has his next lead right away. It seems that Kai, one of the kids from Juvie that Oracle has been keeping an eye on, got himself kidnapped by the Penguin's goons. Apparently this kid made the very poor decision of robbing the Penguin's Iceberg Lounge before he ended up going away, and now Oswald is looking for a little bit of payback. Both Batman and Robin, Damian Wayne, go to save the kid, even though they know full well that this doesn't actually have any connection to the Asema killer, but still they're not going to let this kid hang out to dry, not now or ever. It's during the fight too, in his internal monologue, Bruce reminds us once again just how old he's feeling, how broken down, how a lifetime of crime-fighting related injuries are really starting to accumulate on him. In fact, he actually injures his MCL during the big brawl. Now, most normal people in this situation would go to a hospital or a doctor, but oh, not Batman, he has someone even better. He decides to go to Superman for a once-over. Clark himself even hilariously notes that this is probably the sort of thing that Alfred would do, tell him to stay off the injury for a little bit, give it time to heal, only for Batman to, you know, not do any of those things. In truth, Batman has called Superman here for medical advice, but not that kind. He actually wants Clark's input on this potentially life-changing medical procedure that could add years to his life and turn back the clock on aging. And I mean, hey, who better to ask than Superman? With his alien Kryptonian genes, he'll probably outlive everyone he knows and loves. And let's face it, Superman has also died once or twice before, but Clark knows Bruce well enough to know that the real moral conundrum here is Bruce taking advantage of something by using his rich guy privilege that someone else equally as deserving wouldn't be able to take. Though in reality, Bruce, just by being a billionaire crime fighter, aren't you already taking all sorts of advantages that other people don't have? The best food, the best training, the best medical care. Plus, you know, given the dangerous, often fatal lives that superheroes lead, there's a good chance that even if you do take this procedure, you still could get, like, you know, shot in the head. Though, in the end, the Man of Steel ultimately says that Batman should go ahead with this, because any world where Batman exists is always going to be a safer world, and there's a good chance that if Batman does get to live longer, he'll pay back that blessing a million times over. And with that, it's settled. Bruce decides to agree to Scarlet Scott's brand new age-reducing restorative miracle procedure. It's also here we meet Scarlet's head doctor, a Dr. Forrester, who, hey, look, you just so happen to cut the same silhouette as the Asema killer does. And in fact, I didn't mention it in the last issue, but it does bear bringing up the word Asema is actually reference to an old piece of vampire lore. Basically, it's a creature that, get this, looks like an old person during the day, but becomes young to drink blood at night. Oh geez, I wonder if that is thematically relevant at all. What follows is actually a very fun and very clever scene wherein Bruce has to agree to undergo a physical because, hey, they're not going to spend all this money on life-changing drugs if he could just die of natural causes anyway. What's so fun about it is that Bruce has to think quick and come up with good lies for as to why his body has undergone so much damage over the years. Oh yeah, those stab wounds, all that healed muscle tearing. Well, you know, I like to drink and crash my sports cars, or at least I did in my youth. I'm really embarrassed. Please don't ask me to take my shirt off or anything. He also has to try and do worse when running on the treadmill to not make it look like he's already in peak physical condition. In the end, Bruce passes the test and gets to undertake the procedure, starting with 52 tablets, because it's always 52 for some reason, some age-defying creams and lotions, and finally the actual injection of a chemical known only as Sangraal. And again, if you have a big boner for words like me, you probably already know Sangraal means Holy Grail, fountain of youth you have chosen wisely, you know. And apparently whatever this stuff is, it ends up working overtime. Bruce sleeps for the next 11 hours, which is a small miracle in and of itself, before eventually waking up with his knee damn near healed. Oh, he's still plenty paranoid though, and figures this must be too good to be true, and because of that asked Damian to take his blood for research. You know, some fathers and sons play catch. But hey, if Batman's feeling good, he might as well take this chemically enhanced younger body for a test drive, right, and see what it can do. Thankfully, he still has the issue with the Penguin's stolen money and Kai to smooth over. And by smooth over, I of course mean show up at the front door to the Iceberg Lounge and royally beat the ever-loving crap out of Penguin's entire security detail. For a second there, Oswald actually thinks that when Batman says he's come to clear Kai's debt, that must be because he's returning the stolen money, only for Batman to go, no, I would never do that, that's dumb. I mean, unless you open your books and can show me that you didn't get that money from crime, otherwise, nah, you're not getting that money back. Also, leave the kid alone or I will break your goddamn jaw. But hey, while I'm here, isn't it crazy that a serial killer is targeting a bunch of young criminals? I mean, this probably affects you too, right? Organized crime is a young blood business. And indeed, it seems that Penguin has actually been looking into this Asema killer himself. She has the entire underworld completely terrified. And at this point, Oswald was starting to think Batman was going to get jealous, as terrifying young criminals in the underworld is usually a job for Batman, right? And yet here comes Asema stealing his thunder in the most bloody way possible. Damn, it's not just the icebergs that are cold in this lounge, right? Now hey, that Kai kid might be free from under the Penguin's thumb, but that still doesn't mean he's safe. As the comic comes to a close, we check on in with him at his hotel safe house, only for once again another kid under Batman's protection to become the Asema killer's next victim. And hey, can we talk about her costume for a second? Cause I kinda don't like it. In fact, it kinda perfectly illustrates several problems I have with new DC villain costumes. Why does it seem like they all shop at the same red goggle store? What is the obsession with the whole airsoft half mask thing? And seriously, those needle gloves are just straight up Arkham Scarecrow. It's actually kind of a shame because I love the name and I love the gimmickry that all is hitting. I hope when we actually find out who's under the mask, it manages to bring it all together as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Detective Comics issue number 1091, everybody, and I'm happy to say Tom Taylor continues to bring the hits and bring them well, too. There's a lot of really good drama to be found with Batman grappling with his own physical limitations and the slow march of time. I like him leaning on Superman as a friend and moral sounding board in the same way he would do Alfred. I would hope that Tom Taylor continues to do this moving forward, bringing in other characters you wouldn't expect to always see in a Batman book. I also enjoy the extra dimension they added to Scarlet Scott as a character. I was worried she would be too much of a mustache-twirling villain, especially because we know she is Joe Chill's illegitimate daughter. But here they actually deepen the mystery and make me think that maybe she's not the Asema killer, because she says that part of the reason she's trying to help the richest and most powerful people in the world live longer is because if they do, maybe they'll stop being so greedy and so destructive and actually maybe help the world a little bit, if only so they can live in it longer. Art team is great too. There's several really solid action scenes in this issue that I loved a whole bunch. Overall, I would give this one a positive 8.5 out of 10. It seems that Detective Comics is in a really good set of hands, and I think we're going to be seeing another all-time run starting soon. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.